Hey, welcome to the Delayed Gratification Podcast, where we're talking about taking time to build your wealth. Y'all listen, as always, I got somebody really special for you. And we're going to talk real details about building wealth with real estate and just life in general. So again, I want to go ahead and introduce my next guest, Nicole Ambrose, the billionaire realtor. Nicole, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, Ramon? Thank you for having me.
Thank you for taking your time to be here.
Where else would I be when you call? I'm running. You already know.
I'm going to leave that one alone.
I'll put my church clothes on for you.
You look nice, too. Did he let you out the house like that?
Barely.
Okay.
He's sitting in the car.
He's sitting in the car with the gun. With the gun. Listen, I start this off the same way every time. What is delayed gratification? What does it mean to you?
Oh, I love that question. And first of all, I am so proud of you for this podcast and really talking about delayed gratification in a time where I feel like so many people are into this microwave success, microwave society. Everybody wants everything instantly and nobody is willing to put in the work to really get there. And then I think a lot of times social media has tricked us into thinking that success is quick. Because we only put in the successful parts of the business that we
don't show the rest of the stuff. We're going to talk about some of that stuff today, though.
We don't show the hard work. We just show the posed up picture in front of the success, but that's the steps and the years of steps that it takes. So for me, really delayed gratification, because I feel like I'm the queen of that. I've put in work for so many years, and to the point where several years ago, I was ready to say, maybe this thing is not for me. I need to go back and get my corporate job.
With the entrepreneurship thing?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So the minute that I was like ready to turn my hat in and just go back to corporate, it clicked for me. And I'm so glad that I didn't give up, but it was just years and years of really just putting in the time and putting in the work. But now to see it and to be here after putting in that amount of work and being able to retire, my oldest daughter will never have to go back and work at corporate again. She'll always have her own business that she'll
Did you know you wanted to do that early on in life with her?
No, honestly, early on in life, I was just trying to survive, man. I was just trying to make sure that they didn't open her, and Ashley and Kennedy are my two daughters. For me, for a long time, it was just, let me make sure that they can open the refrigerator and the back of the refrigerator and not be staring at them. I just wanted some food in the refrigerator and for them to come home and the lights come on.
Before we start talking about your babies,
yes,
let me do this because we didn't properly introduce you. Can you tell us who you are and what you do?
Absolutely. So my name is Nicole Ambrose, guys. I am a real estate agent, actual realtor. For those of you that don't know, there's a difference. So I'm a realtor, a real estate agent, coach, and an investor.
Wow. What does that mean, coach and investor? Like I think we kind of know what real estate agent is, right? But coach and investor.
So I coach real estate agents, and that's my passion. I really, really love coaching real estate agents because, like I was telling you, I remember there was a time when I was doing everything that I saw the industry professionals do on social media, and I thought that it would work, and it didn't. I had paid for a couple coaching courses that were cliffhanger courses, and they didn't get me to where I needed to be. So now I really pride myself on helping real estate agents really take their business to the next level.
I've seen you help I'm going to say thousands of agents at this point.
Hundreds. I wish it was thousands, but we on the way.
It's not thousands yet?
No, we're about 800.
We're almost at 1,000.
Almost at 1,000.
Okay. Do you have a goal of how many agents you want to help? Like, what is that goal?
When I say I've done seminars for thousands of agents, but personally attending my personal coaching program, I just want to be able to touch the masses. And I don't think that there's a number for me that would indicate success. It's just until I can't go anymore, until I can't breathe, until I can't get up, until God says there's another path for me, I just will keep going.
When did you know you wanted to help? Like, when did that start? You wanted to help other agents, not just yourself, because a lot of us get into it because we just want to make money for ourselves. When did you decide you wanted to help other agents?
Honestly, I had a closet in my room that was a war room long before the movie War Room ever came out, right? And I remember during that time when I had been 8-9 months into real estate and I hadn't sold anything. And I remember being on my knees in that closet saying, God, if you just allow these doors to open for me, allow me to be a change agent in the real estate arena, allow me to be a vessel to lead people to financial freedom through home ownership and investing, I will do my part to ensure that everybody that feels like me will never feel that feeling again. Just trust me with this. Allow me to be a vessel. And in that moment, I knew that there hasn't been many things that I've asked God for that haven't come to pass. So I knew in that moment that it was going to happen. I just didn't know how quickly it was going to happen, because it was like, you asked, boom, it's here.
Let's go to work.
Yeah. So the success kind of happened for me after that overnight. And maybe 2 years in, I was 100 deals sold. And I knew right then that I had found what they call the secret sauce.
But do you think all of your experiences 20, 30 years prior to that led up to you being able to be so successful? I'm going to say so quickly, but it really wasn't quickly, because the other things that happened before that. What do you think is one of the biggest parts of, like, prior to you in that room that night saying that prayer led you to be able to be as successful as you are now?
Honestly, it's corporate. I have taken everything that I learned in corporate America and transformed it into my own business. So some of the times I was questioning, like, why am I here? I'm supposed to be working for myself. But now I can answer that with all confidence. Everything that I learned about time management, everything that I learned about organization, management skills, all of the sales classes that I had taken in corporate, I've now taken those things.
So you think if you would have skipped, if you would have just 18 years old, 19 years old, said, I'm going out here to be a real estate agent, would you have been as successful as you are now?
I would personally have to say no.
Okay.
I would really honestly have to say no. I think that a lot of my disciplines and the structure that I have in my business has really been from shout out to corporate and to every company that fired me. I appreciate it.
You got fired?
Well, a ton of times. Being late is a challenge for me. Being on time is a challenge. So I've gotten fired from some 6-figure jobs when having a 6-figure job wasn't popular. I had 6-figure jobs 15 years ago. And yeah. And the last one that really fired me, I remember crying, rolling under the bed. And my cousin, shout out to Chanel Yubo, called me and was like, cousin, come on, we can do this tax business. I can teach you how to never go back to corporate again. I was like, what? Not. And at that time, I needed my paycheck. I had a house, I had bills, I had kids. And long story short, I've never been back to corporate.
So you just said tax business. So you have had a tax business?
A very successful tax business. The first one was in Austell, and then the one that really blossomed for me and allowed me to venture off into real estate was in College Park, right in the shopping plaza with the flea market.
Wow. What got you started? I know you say your cousin Chanel, shout out Chanel, got you going, right? But how long did it take before you felt like, man, I'm starting to make some money, I want to stick with this thing? Like, what was it that kept you there, and how long were you in the tax business?
Wow. So that first year that she taught me how to do taxes during that tax season, I got 25 clients, and I kind of did it effortlessly through my friends and family. So that next year I was like, oh, I'm about to pipe up. And I saw, how easy it really was, because it's a need. Whenever you have a business, if you can do a business where there's a need, two things have to meet. The need has to be there in your marketing. If you market a need, it's gonna sell. People just have to know that you're doing it, because the taxes, everybody has to have their taxes done.
But it seems like everybody's doing taxes. So what made you different? What made you be successful?
I'm relentless. I think one of the things that people always say, I'll never be the best real estate agent. I'll never be the best tax preparer. I'll never be the best credit repair company. I'll never be the best, but I'll always be the most consistent. I'll always show up first. I'll always leave last. There's something in me that's a burning desire that you can't teach.
So that's part of it. It's something inside of you. When did you know that, though? Like, has there ever been any doubt that you didn't have that thing that you know you have now?
When I was little, I used to run track when I was little, and I used to think that it was just a competitive nature in me.
Okay.
I didn't realize that it wasn't a competitive nature until I started realizing how much I like to give everything that I know to other people. So it just is, I think it's really just something that's in you that knows I've been in a place that I can't ever go back to. I've been so broke that I can't ever
What
go
does that
back
mean?
there.
Were you broke or broke in?
Both.
What does that mean to you?
Dang, that's deep, Ramon. Dang, broke and broken. The broken part of me came from just, they say New York is a concrete jungle, man. Chicago is a concrete jungle.
Yeah.
Chicago is a concrete jungle. And I respect New York, love New York. But I must say that Chicago is also a concrete jungle. And being from Chicago, we go through brokenness in life that from being in relationships, and this is just, I speak honest and I speak
Yes, you
candid
do.
about who I am and who I've been. Having my oldest daughter's father being a drug dealer who went to jail and left me with my daughter, and at times his son that isn't my biological son, but I look at him as if he is, and just having to make a way out of no way.
Was that part of your plan when you 16, 17, 18, like, this is the life I want based on the environment? Or did you always know you wanted to be corporate, kind of where you are now? What did that do for your journey? Like that part of your life, that brokenness, going through that with your baby and, life in Chicago. Was that part of your original plan?
The original plan, when that movie on Power, when when Ghost's wife said, I want you to be the biggest GD drug dealer. Like when I was 15, 16, I was seeing that, and I thought, and it was glamorized in my neighborhood on the south side of Chicago. So I thought that's what I'm like, look, I'm going to marry the biggest drug dealers. I can have the nicest this, the nicest that. But then after I had my daughter, that changed. I didn't ever want her dad had been in jail, and I couldn't be the one who failed her as well.
So you think that's part of that challenge, that delay of getting what you want then? Because if you would have married the biggest drug dealer, no telling where you would be right now, right?
Yes.
So your dream got delayed.
Yes, absolutely. Nothing but God.
Nothing but God. So you talk about, like, you're honest.
Yes.
Like, I've seen you shed a tear too, right? What has been one of the biggest delays that you didn't understand why it happened, but the biggest delay, other than that, things like that at a young age, because we all go through things at a young age, but recently, what have you had to delay to get to today?
One of the things that I'm so not good at, and I'm still a work in progress with, is...
You can't say you're not good at it though, right?
Well, it's true, but God is working with me at it. Patience. Patience is not my strong suit. Patience is like, if I want something, I want it today, and I'm going to put everything into, like, I can have 1,000 things going on, but if it's something that really pulls my attention, I'm going to do everything that I can in that moment right then to make it happen right then. And sometimes that's not really realistic. Sometimes you have to set a goal in place and say, yes, I want this 200 unit building, but I'm going to put this on a plan for the next 12 months and have a monthly plan of how you get there. But there's something inside of my brain that doesn't work like that. When I see it, it's like, whatever I have to do right now, forsaking all things, I'm going to get that today. And
so you want instant gratification sometimes.
And that's bad.
What happens when you don't get it?
I think that's a situation where we inflict a feeling of failure on ourselves, because as soon as something that's unrealistic doesn't happen, instead of you looking at it as if it's not realistic, you look at it as a failure. Especially, we're in the day and age of social media, and you see so many other people doing, big things.
Yes.
So if you don't do those things that you necessarily see those people doing when you want it at that time, it's like, man, how do they do it and I can't do it? Maybe this is just not for me, or maybe I'm not good enough, or maybe this and I don't care how much. Do not let social media trick us. I don't care how successful a person looks. Everybody has that moment where they have doubt of some, or insecurities of some kind.
Yes.
They just don't show them in public. public, but everybody has them.
Why don't we show it?
I think it's hard being vulnerable. It's not hard for me because, I'll drop a tear and I'll say anything, anywhere, and I don't care. This is when real meets real right here. But I think for some people, it's just hard to be vulnerable because society has made us feel like we always have to be strong.
So what makes you, like, because you will get vulnerable.
Absolutely.
And we know you're super powerful, right? And we see where you are today. Right. But what makes it okay for you, somebody that's that powerful, you lead a lot of people on a daily basis, what makes you be okay with being vulnerable?
I think that's the part of me that is a helpmate for people because I want people to see that, are you going to pull up in a $200,000 car? Okay. Are you going to have a $500,000 million? Yeah, you will. Will you have a nice bag? Absolutely. But we still bleed just like you. We still, like, that stuff means nothing if you don't have the right inside. And for me, just letting people know that it's okay. I struggle. You'll struggle. The people that you look up to truly have struggles, and it's okay to have a struggle. And I want people that are trying to get to where I am to know that it's okay. It's okay. And the people that where I'm trying, because it'll always be another level.
Yes.
So the people that are at that next level that I look up to are the people that are vulnerable and say, it's okay. And you can be strong and be vulnerable at the same time.
Let's talk about where you are, right? Because you will do $1 billion in real estate.
Absolutely.
You will surpass that, right? And I know as a kid, being a millionaire was like the goal, right? And I knew a lot of folks that hit that status. I hear people saying, I won't be the first. I'll be the first millionaire in my family. I won't be. Like, me personally, I won't be. There were some before me.
Yes.
But to hear that word $1 billion real estate agent, it's like, how big is that, right?
Yes.
When you get there, right? Because it's going to be soon.
Yes.
I've watched you 30 million, 50 million, 70 million, right? What do you think you'll feel like when you hit that $1 billion mark?
I'm my hardest critic, Ramon. I don't think that it'll ever be a time when I think I celebrate in that moment. I'll pick the phone up and call, you and other people that have been instrumental in my life and say, and thank you guys for helping me get here. And I'm humbled and I'll thank God. And then I'm off to setting the next goal.
How do you get there though? What is, I'm a real estate agent, realtor, or an investor watching right now. Give me 3 steps to get there. What is just 3 quick steps? How have you done it? How can I do it? Because I always say, if somebody did it, I can do it, right?
Absolutely.
But I'm watching you. What do you tell me? I'm brand new.
The 3 most important keys, honestly. The most important one is consistency. Consistency. Show up every day. Show up for your clients, show up for your business, show up for you, show up for your employees, show up for your showing agent, show up for your receptionist, show up for your assistant. Show up for the business. Show up for the other real estate agents that are on the other side of your deal. Show up for the realtor community as a whole. Just show up and be consistent in your show up. That's the first thing. The second thing is my business began to thrive to the level that it is when I put the right systems in place.
We're gonna come back to that one.
Systems.
So keep this one in mind. How long did it take you to put those systems in place? We're gonna come back to that. I want you to think about that. After you get number 3, we're gonna come back to systems though.
Because systems is a big one. And then finally, honestly, having a targeted client. I think that it's very hard in the real estate business right now, and you make it harder when you don't have a segmented people that is your ideal client. So being all over the place and having, your target. Now, my targeted client is anybody that's 25 to 50 years old, male, female, married, single, anywhere in between, employed or self-employed, looking to purchase a house from $300,000 to $500,000. That's my ideal.
And you know
client.
it right off the bat.
I can repeat it to you 29 times.
So if they want to buy a $600,000 house, you gonna refer them to me?
No. They want to buy $1 million. They want to buy a couple $1 million house. I'm going to sell it. I sold my first multi-million dollar house in April.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm going to sell it, and I'm going to do well at selling it. Yes. But when you look at my marketing and my branding, my marketing and my branding is consistent to that segment of people that I just talked about. So there's no confusion of these are my people that I want to magnetically attract to my business without dumping a ton of money into paid lead generation systems that don't work.
So 3 things, showing up, being consistent, having the systems, and then know who you're talking to.
Yes.
Right. So I shouldn't be all over the place. No. Right. If you come in, I can serve you, but my people that I'm talking to are it's this person basically. This is every ad you see is going to be talking to that person.
It makes it easier to make your message crystal clear when you have a segmented population of people that you want to talk to. And not only is that message crystal clear, it's consistent.
Yeah, I remember people used to ask me that, like, who's your client? I used to be like, everybody, right? Because I think about Walmart, right? And I'm like, everybody go to Walmart to buy tissue. You see what I'm saying? Or everybody uses Amazon, but they wasn't targeting everybody, right? They were targeting a certain population, which was probably low income folks, right? Because when you get a little money, you start going to Target.
And you don't see in a lot of the areas that are upper class areas, you see a Target, you don't see a Walmart.
Correct. So that's critical. So let's go back to these systems. It take a minute to put systems in place.
I'm still putting systems in place.
What do you mean?
So real estate is one of those things that's ever changing.
Okay.
2 years ago when COVID happened, we shifted to a seller's market. How you attract a seller is drastically different than how you attract a buyer. Yeah. So your systems will always be a work in progress. And there'll always be new systems that come out. There'll always be new tools that come out. Technology is ever changing. So that's one of those things that you'll consistently have to keep up with. So if you don't have SOPs in your business,
what's that?
Your procedures that teach you how to operate in your daily business. So if you don't have procedures and policies in your business that are written out, you're doing your business a disservice, because then as soon as something changes, you can rip that page out and put the new page in there. So you should be running your business based on a booklet that no matter, you can go into my business right now, I can hand you my binder and I can be on vacation for the next 3 weeks and my business wouldn't change, because you would know exact how I go down to how I go pick up a gift.
How long did it take you to put the system that you have today, right, put it in place?
2 years.
2 years. That's a long time.
Absolutely.
So day one, you didn't come out with that. You didn't buy it nowhere. So your system may not work for me.
Correct.
Right. So I got to build my own, which may take time.
So I'll give you a shell.
Okay.
The shell of what I have will work. But a lot of times the systems are going to be unique to your personality, your character, the type of client that you want to attract. So the shell of what I give you would absolutely work for you. You would just have to take that and put your own spin to it.
So is that how you train so many other agents?
Absolutely.
Tell me, what does that look like? What does the training piece look like? I'm an agent, whether I'm new or experienced. I've seen you train both. What does that look like? I come to you and I'm like, Cole, I'm not doing $2 million a year or $10 million a year or whatever that number is. What do you do from that point when I come to you? What do you have in place?
The very first thing is we have to identify what it is that is what's your long-term goal. And generally, I don't work with people who say that if they say something about, and this is just personally for me because I don't do things for money. I do things for purpose and passion, and I really am out here doing God's work. So I don't work with people. If somebody comes to me and tells me that I just want to make $100 million in the next 5 years, just tell me how to make $100 million. That's not, and I've turned a ton of people away to say, that's not, I can't help you do that.
Why?
Because I think people that do things for money, most times money has to be the byproduct.
Okay.
You really have to do things for purpose, passion, and to be a servant. I like to work. I'm a servant. I'm a servant leader. And I like to work with people who are servants. So I just work better with that type of person. But a person that is an opportunist or somebody that's simply doing something for money, we generally don't gel well because we don't talk the same language.
So I mean, it takes time as a real estate agent, professional, investor, developer to build, right? What would you say if I came to you and I'm like, if I don't hit this goal in 12 months, I'm going to quit, right? Do you help with not only giving me the brochures, but what about like the mental piece of it? Like, is that part of the coaching? Do you talk me off the ledge?
Absolutely.
What does that look like?
Absolutely. So that really is the main ingredient, because you have to be sound mentally. You can't show up for somebody else, or you can't show up to a meeting, a client meeting. You can't show up to an event. If mentally you're not there and mentally you're in a fog, there's no way that you can be your best self. So that's the first thing. You really have to make sure that the mindset is right and that the mental is right. And a lot of times that's the hardest part, because people are going through real life stuff. COVID laid so many people off. People's bills are behind. We've got people now that have more challenged credit than ever before. So life is really happening to people, So to plug through and dig through those layers like an onion is definitely first, because I can teach you how to go out and be a good real estate agent, but I can't teach you how to be a good person, and I can't teach you how to be a happy person. That's something that we got to work through some things and get you mentally where you need to be, and then let's deal with the business.
So do you feel like it's, peeling back that, because you talked about peeling back those layers of the onion, right? What does your programming have to do with that though? Like, I come to you and I'm just from a kid, I got some issues from a kid. So it stops me from being great as an adult. How do you handle that? Because you deal with hundreds, and you keep saying 800, but I know thousands because it's been audiences that you've been in front of, right?
Yes.
How do you help us? Because I want to be like you. I want to do $50 million, $100 million a year.
It honestly, that first conversation, and sometimes we do it in a group, and as we do it in a group, sometimes I have to peel back and talk to some people individually, because going through this process is already one of the things that people don't realize about real estate, because they see us put on pretty dresses and nice suits and they see us showing pretty houses. Real estate is a very, very stressful environment.
Is it?
Absolutely, Ramon. It's stressful. It is crazy out here in these streets.
Yes.
And you're dealing with so many different people in one transaction, and there's so many places where one transaction can fall apart. The inspection, the appraisal, underwriting, taxes, like there's so many different areas where that transaction can fall apart. So with understanding that, it's a high stress job. So before you go into even me teaching you what is the appropriate CRM, your customer relationship management tool, before we even talk about any of that, let's talk about what's going on with your home life. How are your children?
You get into that with your program?
Absolutely. What's going on with your husband? What's going on with your wife? How is your family environment? Because if you are going through hell at home, it's going to be impossible for you to focus on what I'm trying to teach you on Tuesday nights. So now I'll just have been out here doing this, talking to you for 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours every week for sport, because you can't focus on what I'm talking to you about because you have a mental fog going on at home. So now you're really sitting there looking at me through the Zoom or looking at me in person, and really you're looking through me because you're really thinking about the stuff that you have going on at home.
I've been there.
Yeah,
I've been there. I've been, a little stressed, you know what I mean? And so we'll talk about that in a second. So, man, you help so many. I'm going back to this. It's amazing how you help so many people.
And I know those people individually. Like, I know the people that have worked with me. I know them individually. I've talked one-on-one with them. I have real relationships. Like, I'm not out here. I don't want to be the real estate agent, the coach that has coached 10,000 people, but I don't have a relationship with one of them. I really want to have a real relationship with my people. And if it means that I service less people, but I give more effective service, I'm okay with that.
Why? Why is that important to you?
Because I don't want to just be in this for a numbers game. At the end of the day, if they carry me away from here on a stretcher, I want to know that I made an impact. And it's hard to make an impact for me with the type of person that I am. And every coach is going to be different because some coaches can coach the masses and be successful at it. I'm a very personable person. I like really helping people, and I like getting into the nitty gritty of why aren't you successful? What is it that we need to do here to get you to here? And sometimes the here doesn't have anything to do with real estate. So I can't get you here in real estate if I can't get you past this.
Past that personal stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you willing to, like right now, to get, because you want to help people.
Yes.
Let's talk about something that for you, what do you want? And what are you willing to sacrifice now to get what you want in 3 years, 5 years? Give me a goal that you're willing to delay 5 years now, and you're looking forward to it 5-10 years from now. What is that? What is that thing? Because you got to delay something. Something you're going to have to give up today. What is that thing you're willing to give up today to get what you want tomorrow?
I'm giving up, and not giving up. I'm so honored to be able to turn my day-to-day real estate business over to my oldest daughter, Ashley. And Kennedy's coming along. She's getting stronger as she goes. But Ashley is there. She is amazing. I've spent the last 2 years gearing her up for a day like today.
Yes.
And she's ready. She's out right now as we speak, as we're filming this. She's actually doing her first photo shoot. And she's ready to take over Nicole Ambrose Real Estate & Co. We're doing a name change very soon. So that will be something that will incorporate her. But I'm taking a step back from my day-to-day sales, and she will still run that business. I'll continue to be a face of a lot of it alongside of her, but she'll run the day-to-day operations to give me an opportunity to really step back and learn as much as I can about building. I want to help 1,000 women build homes and build subdivisions and build platforms for themselves that are larger than anything that they ever could have imagined. And there's no way that I can do that and continue to run my day-to-day of my real estate business.
So I think what I just heard is you're going to have to give up that touching of folks daily.
What I love.
What you love. Mm-hmm. In order to help be more impactful 10, 15, 20 years from now, where you've built other women into being developers and investors and their own platforms.
Yes.
How does that feel?
Right
like
now,
today, how does it feel? Yeah.
Honestly, today, right now, it's scary because real estate for the past 5 years, I sold over 400 homes in the last 5 years. So this has been my baby.
Yes.
This isn't something that I woke up and I was sleeping and drinking this. I remember, before everybody was really on social media doing real estate 5 years ago when I first started,
yes.
I was in the parks with my bullhorn in the roughest parks of Atlanta doing credit repair seminars, one at 8 o'clock in the morning and one at 12. And
Chicago prepared you for that, though.
Absolutely. I was ready. Stay strapped.
I'm going to leave that one alone.
So for me, this wasn't, they're not $1 million people in the parks getting credit repair.
Yes.
There were those people that were buying $200,000, $300,000 homes that really, they weren't looking for a handout. They were looking for a hand up. And I felt like I was in position to teach them enough about credit to lead them to home buying. So this has, kids will see me in the grocery stores and they'll be with their parents. And they're like, mommy, it's the credit lady. Because I encourage them to bring their kids to the parks, and they would be in the park with coloring books, and I would give them coloring books, crayons, while I'm teaching their parents about credit repair. And so this for me has been a heart tug.
Yes.
It's been purposeful. It's been passion. It's been my heart given out to so many people. So when I'm sitting at the closing table, it's almost like I'm from Chicago, so forgive me, but lack of a better term, it's almost like a crackhead chasing the next high. As soon as I'm there with them, I feel so good and so warm and tingly inside. I'm ready to get out and help that next person, because these are people who never thought they would have achieved the dream of home ownership. So for me, turning this over to my baby is the best feeling in the world, because I'm giving my baby something that will allow her to never have to go work for somebody
But it's still
else.
tough.
but it's still tough.
But you
Giving
know,
my baby.
giving your baby. She can handle it though.
Oh, she's handling it now.
Yeah. Some would say it's gonna be Coca-Cola of real estate.
She's gonna
because
take
of
it
her.
to the next level.
She will. But you doing this knowing that it's uncomfortable, it's not easy, but you know in the next, I don't know, how many years do you want to reach that 1,000 women?
It'll be 10 years.
10 years?
10
That's a
years.
long time. So 10 years.
And I'll help more people along the way because
Yes.
some people will do smaller projects, but I want to know that I was responsible for 1,000 women that are touching things like hotels, that are touching things like strip malls, that are touching things like a regular mall, that are touching massive projects, not just fixing and flipping a house.
How are you going to do that?
Ramon, you know me.
How can we participate in you doing that? What is, like, give me the steps.
So the first thing, and that I've been very, very diligent about this last 3 months, and that I'll be even more diligent about over the next 12 months, is educating myself to make sure I'm forming the relationships, because real estate is a relationship business.
Yes, it is.
So before I dive into saying, hey, 1,000 of y'all come go with me, by the time I'm really vocal and I hit the airways with this is what we're doing, I will be one of the best people that people will have ran into, and it'll be the best from a knowledge perspective. I'll have all of the resources, I'll have all of the connections, and everybody that they'll need to be in touch with to develop those types of deals will be in my Rolodex. So it for me right now, it's the relationships. When you ask what can you do, it's really assisting me with making sure that I have the foundation. I have the foundation, but now it's building those relationships and helping me to be in the rooms with the right people to put this in action. Because one of the things that you can go back hundreds of years, when there have been roles that society deemed weren't for women.
Yes.
And I still think that right now, today, the hard hat and the boots is still, when you see a woman with a hard hat and boots on.
I kind of like it, but that's another story.
That's you.
I'm sorry, y'all.
But most people look at it and say, she's so hard. And she's not hard. I think that, it's okay now for us to jump on top of a tractor.
Yes.
And I can be on top of a tractor with my heels on, and I can do just as good of a job as a man can do.
For sure. Or better.
Or better.
Yeah.
So that's really where I am. So I have a small team that I'm starting with right now today. We're already in action. Shout out to Janine Smith, the owner of Black Girls in Real Estate.
Woo-hoo.
We did a class last week, and we're going to continue to do classes where we're bringing people to the forefront. So we're doing smaller projects now where we're teaching how to build 1, 2, 3 homes at a time to gear up to those bigger projects.
What's a big project though? Because
subdivision.
one house is a big project.
Well, one house is a big project when you haven't done it. We've done that and mastered that. So now it's really a subdivision.
Okay.
And so we can show you how to go out and build a single family house. We can show you how to build, fix and flip, anything that you want to fix and flip. We can really show you how to go in, and even with the multifamily, we can show you how to do those. We can show you how to fix, flip those. But the one thing that I haven't done to date is a subdivision. So it's on my radar right now.
It's on the radar. When are we going to have one out?
So what I would love to do, we're looking at land right now.
Okay.
I would love to have a meeting with you after this. I'm putting you on the spot,
All right.
on the spot in front of all of these people. And I would love for us to be breaking ground on our subdivision next year, first, second quarter.
Done. Yeah, done.
And it's easy work. That's the thing. We have the resources. We have the lenders. We have the people. We have the builders. We have everything that we need within our circle of our immediate sphere of influence. So now it's just about pulling that immediate sphere that we have together and going to work, baby.
I want to go back to this 1,000-person goal, woman goal. That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people.
In 10 years, 100 people a year, right? And I can just, in my mind, when you said it, I just thought about 1,000 deals in 10 years that are larger deals. We're going to call them larger deals, right? Hotels, stadiums, mixed use projects. That means a lot to the culture.
Absolutely.
And honestly, I understand who my client is going to be, right? I understand who my partners are going to be.
Yes.
Not saying they're not going to come from other ethnicities, because I don't believe in race, right? Because I think it's only one race, it's the human race, right? But I know that for 1,000 African American women, or 900 and 100 other, right? That changes the game.
Absolutely.
In 10 years.
Absolutely.
And some people may say 10 years is a long time, but if y'all think about the past 2 years have gone by so fast, right?
Fast.
So 10 years we'll look up, if we're not prepared, if we're not following you and you don't have that plan in place, we will still be in the same place where we are now, not owning land as a people, still 1% in commercial real estate. I think that's, African American, minorities in general. That's going to be big, right? So you're going to sacrifice right now. I just want to repeat this, because when we look at this 10 years from now, I'm be like, she was right. Your baby of helping people find homes to now helping people develop communities of homes, affordable housing, hotels, making sure you empower women to do this. 1,000, right? 1,000.
And that's an easy number. I think that's lightweight. I think that when we think about how many women that it is in the world that are, we only see the people that have 300, 400, 2 million followers on social media.
Yes.
They're the 0.5%, not even the 1%. They're the 0.5% of the world. It's so many powerful women that are out here that don't get recognition, that nobody knows, that they're not looking for the limelight, but they have the will, they have the tenacity, they work hard. Some of them have the resources, the finances, they have what it takes to already forge this forward. They just don't have the expertise to be able to do it in this field. So there's 1,000 people that will stand up today. If we had a national show that we can go on right now and have the world tune into, there's 1,000 women that will stand up today and say they were ready.
Y'all leaving us out.
Y'all have left us out for so long, and don't start me on that, because I'll go down a whole nother tangent.
Well, we're going to have to go there right now.
Let's do it.
See, I don't think I've ever left. I like when we work together, right? But you said 1,000 women, so can the men help? How can we help?
Well, okay, so let me rephrase that.
All right, here we go.
There will be a lot of men that will help us along the way. But I think that for Black women in real estate, it just is a powerful movement. I think men have had this platform for a very long time, and it's time for y'all to hear us roar.
I don't mind dropping y'all off, picking you up. I don't mind doing all of it. I don't want to put an
apron on. I don't want to get in the kitchen and cook. I love Instacart. I don't want to go to the grocery store. That's not my thing. I don't want to cook no bacon. I don't want to do none of that. I don't want to clean the house, but I'm going to be a helpmate to you, because I can call I'm gonna call Instacart, and I'm gonna call a lady that comes to clean our house. I'm gonna get all of that stuff done, but I want to be in that boardroom. Absolutely.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, she can come clean the house then. But check this out. So you said buildings over bacon.
Absolutely.
I like that.
Do I look like I should be in the kitchen cooking?
I'm not gonna answer that one.
I did that already.
You did it already? Buildings over bacon.
Now I can. Now let's not get it twisted. Now I can.
I wasn't going there. I wasn't going to ask that question.
And I can bake. I can do the whole thing. It just.
Speaking of bacon, baking, BAKING, not BACON. Like when I first met you, you kind of dated me, right? And you brought me to a meeting, this beautiful cake. But I ain't got one since we. Does that happen with all the ladies that's going to be in this 1,000 thing? Because we want to make sure
Ever since then, you have been saying that you are watching your way. You at the track every morning.
Oh, so there we go with this, right?
So since you at the track every morning, I'm trying to help you help yourself.
All right, I go there.
Bringing you
the women are always so fast on their feet, y'all. 1,000 more of them, but we going to be, woo. But I love it, though. I love the idea, Nicole, seriously. And I want to make sure I do my part in that, right? Whatever it is, you always got every resource I got, but 1,000, right?
I think that.
What do you think you're going to feel like
Amazing.
Because you got a number on that one. So you normally won't put a number on something, but you said
I
1,000,
never put a number.
a definite 1,000. Now we're gonna go past that, but when we hit 1,000,
I want to see 1,000 women with hard hats, with boots, with our whatever, our overalls, whatever the look is, right? And I want to have an aerial drone shot looking down in front of a project that we're about to master and conquer.
That's gonna be crazy.
When I say I'm so excited about it, I see it, I feel it, I dream it, and I can't think of anything else right now.
1,000. I can picture that too. I just saw that picture, what you just. I'm so excited about being out there.
Coach buses, have back-to-back coach buses lined up. Us get off these coach
because that's 20 buses. They hold 50 apiece. 20 buses lined up.
And this is the thing, I never feel like there's a I in team.
Yes.
There are other women who are real estate agents that are developers that own brokerages. I would love to partner. It doesn't have to be Nicole brought 1,000 women. I just want to see it happen.
It's a movement.
So there are other people who are out here that I'm going to be talking to help me forge this forward. And I'm super excited about it. And I absolutely on no day want it to be a me mission. I want it to be a us mission. I just, had the vision to bring it forward, but there's going to be a lot of powerful women that will be in place assistant along this journey.
So look, I just had a vision, right? I will, if my woman is a part of that, I'll fix the bacon.
Your what?
I'll cook the bacon.
I'll
be up in the morning.
Before the bacon, don't worry about it.
Ooh. Ooh, she went that in, y'all. I'm saying though, I'm excited about my woman out there with a hard hat on, and I'm up in the morning like, here you go, baby, right?
On her way out the door.
Absolutely. And then I just go in there and watch me some Steve Harvey, Family Feud. I'm not working no more. I'm gonna be.
No.
That ain't how that work.
Gerard, if you're watching, that's not what I just said. What I just said to you, love, is that I don't want to do those things, but I will do them. Under no uncertain terms are you going to sit at home and watch Family Feud, Jeopardy, or any of that. You still have to go to work, love. Love you.
No. That's not literally. We already got this planned out. When we gonna be the help.
No,
we're not. We got to go to work still.
Still got to get up and go to work.
Because it's gonna take all of us to get this thing right.
This whole village to get this thing right.
I just lost all of my excitement.
No, you didn't, because nothing excites you more than real estate.
I love it. I love it.
Nothing excites you more than real estate.
1,000, Nicole. That's a beautiful goal, and I know we're gonna exceed it. I know you're gonna exceed it, right?
You were right.
But the one thing you just said, and this is critical, working with other folks, right?
Absolutely.
You're not competing. There's millions of people out here. Right?
I don't compete. Like there's so many powerful real estate agents. I can name you 10 powerful female real estate agents, and I'm in there, and they'll tell you I'm in their inbox. I don't care who they are. I'm in their inbox and I'm saying, go sis, I see you. I support you. I love what you're doing. Congratulations. I see you again. Thanks for what you're doing for our community. Thanks for what you're doing for our culture. Thanks for what you're doing for real estate. You're amazing. Keep going. It's important for us to empower each other, and I'm in everybody's inbox when I see them doing something good. I see you and I celebrate you.
I love it. I love that about you.
I celebrate everybody. I'm not competing with anybody. The only person I'm competing with is the person that I see in the mirror every day. That's it.
That's deep. You don't start. Now you breaking it down, right?
That's it.
What does that competition in the mirror look like every day? Like, is that I get up and I'm like, you didn't do it right today or yesterday, or what is that mirror? Does that mirror talk back?
It does. That might sound a little crazy. I might need medication. I don't know, because my mirror talks to me all the time.
No. We listen. A lot of us are afraid to look in the mirror, right? Does that mirror? Do you tell that mirror about long-term goals, or it just is a daily thing? What is that?
It's a daily thing, and and a lot of people will think that I spend a lot of time getting dressed, because if I say, hey, let me go run in here and put some clothes on, it normally is like an hour or an hour and a half before I come out. And it's not just me getting dressed. I'm really in I'm in my closet, I'm praying, I'm circling in my closet, I'm praying. I have a huge mirror in the closet and I'm looking in that mirror and I really have real conversations with myself. And you know, I'm a Christian, I cuss a lot. When it's when I do something that's terrible, I will really look in the mirror and say, you fucked that up. And I don't need anybody else to correct me, although y'all do a good job at it. I don't need anybody else to correct me. I self-correct. And that conversation that I have in the mirror with myself, because you can look at me and say something to me that I did wrong and it'll break my heart. But when I look in that mirror and what I have to say to myself breaks me down. Because the person that you should be most accountable to is yourself. You got to self-correct and you have to have a certain level of accountability to yourself. And that level of accountability that you have to yourself.
How long did it take you to do that, to learn how to correct yourself? Is that something that it's a long time?
A long time.
So when I'm not able to do that, and I'm going back to the delayed gratification, right? Do you feel good now that you can correct yourself?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that it's a challenge for me because I'm not perfect and I'm still, you know, I'm spoiled and
You should be.
Yeah, I'm spoiled. I don't have a selfish bone in my body, but I got a lot of spoiled tendencies. Okay. My family I have come from a very good family. They have taken excellent care of me and have spoiled me. I have the best partner on my side, Gerard Davis, he's a freaking amazing.
For sure.
Only God could love me enough to have given me him. And he spoils me every day. You, my brothers, like you guys show me my worth along with me proving my worth every day. Yes. So with that, for a long time, that was something that I didn't use to empower me. It was something that really was kind of, I used it in a bad way to be able to say, I'm just spoiled. I should just be getting whatever I want and I should have and I should. And now as I get older, it's more so saying, yes, am I spoiled? But that part of me, you have to earn that for a person to even value you enough to want to spoil you. Are you coming from a place of value? What are you giving back? How are you earning this position and this platform that people put you on? And I think for me now, it's more about I'm earning my way. If you see me in a room, I work to get in that room. If you see me on a stage anywhere, I work to get there. And it's all from the conversations that I have with myself.
I love it. I love it. So I know the 1,000 women goal of being developers, investors, just taking over the real estate world. That's a 10-year goal.
Absolutely.
Right? We talked about what it's going to take to get there. Before we end, I want to know, give me something that you're going to delay today.
Yes.
That you want to be grateful for, get the gratification in 12 months. Just 12 months. We're not even going to go 3 years, 5 years. Something right now, and you got something that you want right now, right? But I want to know what that thing is, what that goal is, or what that thing is, and what are you going to sacrifice today over the next 12 months to get what you really want in 12 months?
I think we always talk about business. So there are some things I think in life as women, once we get so focused on our career and making money, we're so focused on that a lot of times we'll let the body go. Or if we're really focused on the body, then we'll not be as focused on money. It's really hard to have a balance in between the two. And I think Michelle Obama really set the precedence with that. Yes. You were, on side of one of the most powerful men in the world, and you got up at 3 a.m. every single morning, 4 a.m. and worked out, and you maintained helping run this country while also staying physically fit. So for me, over the next 12 months, I'm going to sacrifice sleep. I want to, as I go through this journey of helping these 1,000 women, I want to be a well-rounded package. I'm going to make sure over this next 12 months that I'm very, very focused on not just working out, but the things that I put in my body. I'm really focused right now on eating from my blood type. Okay. So I'm sacrificing from a physical standpoint. I'm going to sacrifice. I don't drink anymore. super excited about that.
Wow,
Gerard
congratulations.
and I, thank you. Haven't had a drink in 21 days. It's new, not even wine. So not that we had an issue, but even that, I want to only put things in my body that are healthy for my blood type. So we've given up alcohol. Again, eating from my blood type. I'm going to spend more time fasting. I'm going to spend more time praying, and I'm definitely going to spend more time studying. So now I'll start getting up every day at 4 a.m. And we'll make sure that by the time 8 a.m. comes, we've already prayed, worked out, and done our meditation for what our day needs to look like. So I'm really on a spiritual journey and a physical journey over this next 12 months. And the things that I'm going to sacrifice, honestly, there's going to be, I love my family. I love my family. I love family time. Over this next 12 months, I'm going to miss some holidays. I'm going to miss some birthdays. I'm not going to eat the things that make me happy. I'm going to go to eating to live, not living to eat. I'm going to sacrifice my martinis and just really go to work on myself, mind, body, and soul.
Wow. Nicole, thank you for being on here.
Thank
y'all
you for
listen.
having me.
Thank y'all for watching the Delayed Gratification Podcast. Like it, share it, watch it 1,000 times, y'all. Thank you. I love y'all.